Good morning. The weather isn't that good, but we're heading off anyway on a 4-day loop to Matata, which is on the east coast of New Zealand in the Bay of Plenty. We meet up and leave from the Lake Road roundabout and head out on the Ngataha cycleway, stopping at Dynasty Cafe for a morning coffee. After coffee, we carry on the cycleway along the lakefront and then join Haumoana Road heading for State Highway 30 and our lunch stop at Okere Falls store. From Haumoana Road to the Okere Falls store/cafe, the new cycleway makes it a lot more pleasant than riding on the road. After a nice lunch at Okere Falls, we climbed the hill on State Highway 30, then descended and turned into Manawatutu Road and the peace and quiet. The gravel on Rotoehu Road wasn't the best for skinny tyres, and Steve with only 32mm tyres found it the most difficult. Pongakawa Valley Road gave us some nice gravel, but a couple of good steep little climbs on seal before descending down to the lake and Rachel's place where we were spending the night. The others spent the evening playing Jenga. Good morning, another grey old day, but it should improve as we get closer to the coast. We head towards State Highway 30, but well before we get there we turn onto Manawahei Road, which goes around the back of Lake Rotorua. There aren't many lake views because of the lovely bush lining both sides of the road. The rain has made the road quite slushy, so I can see we're going to have some dirty bikes. At the end of Manawahei Road, we turn right onto Matahi Road, which we follow for a few kilometres before turning onto MacGyver Road and more gravel. Once again, the gravel was a challenge for those of us with skinnier tyres. We had lunch at the bottom of MacGyver Road before carrying on along Braemar Road, which we had a little detour off, which was well worthwhile to the Braemar Springs, which were cold, so only Rachel went in for a dip. From the springs we continued on to Matata, where the others got an ice cream. After ice creams, Nick and Trudy went to the hotel and the rest of us went out to Murphy's campground and set up camp. Later that evening, Sue, Steve and I went to the Matata Hotel and joined Trudy and Nick for a most lovely meal. Good morning, blue skies. This is more like the weather we want. Hopefully I'll get the drone up today. Nick and Trudy biked out to our camp and we all set off together. We had 6 kilometres on State Highway 2, which had a good shoulder for most of it, but the turn-off onto Pickaway Road was still very welcome, peace and quiet. Pickaway Road is great riding and we stopped for coffee along the way. About time too, I finally got the drone up. Just before the end of Campbell Road, we stopped for lunch in a paddock after asking permission. It's now 3:15 and this lady is planning to be at Murphy's for tonight. I assume she's taking the more direct main road route rather than our meandering around the back road route. Redwood Valley Farm was not your usual campground. There was no check-in, and if you were camping you got a long drop toilet and a sink with running water at your campsite. If you were staying in the wool shed or in one of its cabins, it has a lounge with kitchen facilities, showers and flush toilets. Nick and Trudy stayed in one of the cabins. Our Puriri campsite with a sink and tap, fireplace and a long drop toilet across the paddock was very nice. I had a very cold wash in the creek. If you're looking for a campground with facilities, this place is not for you, but if you want peace and quiet and a bit of art natural, it's great. Good morning, our fourth and final day. Once again it's a nice day, so it should be a lovely ride home. Allport Road barely gave us time to get our legs warmed up before we turned on to Ridge Road and a mean climb. Once up the climb we follow a ridge to the Liechtenstein Road track, which starts off going through some lovely native bush, then drops into a pine forest to take us out onto the actual Liechtenstein Road. We stop in a lovely clearing for morning coffee. The difference a motor makes. We're back on Maniatutu Road, which completes the loop. Next stop, O'Ferricool's store for a nice coffee. After a short stint on State Highway 30, we turned onto O'Kerry Road. This was Nick's suggestion, and it was a good one. We ride right to the end of O'Kerry Road to the right of way. Turn a very hard left here and down the steep path. We exit the path at the bridge. From the bridge, it's just a few hundred metres to the Okere Falls store. I could almost smell the coffee as I got closer. We say goodbye to Steve at his place. After saying goodbye to Steve, all that is left to do is for us to trace our respective wheel tracks home. As always, thanks a heap for watching, and hopefully you'll join us on our next adventure.